We are in the middle of a staffing crisis. North Carolina ranks 49th in starting pay. They got 5,000 beds sitting empty because there's nobody to staff them. Michigan just threw $10,000 in raises at new recruits trying to fill that gap. Facilities all over this country are running on skeleton crews. And that means one thing for you guys. The double shift ain't the exception no more. It's your schedule. And here's the thing about it. When you're running on 4 hours of sleep and you're staring down at your third 16 in a row, you're not that same officer that walked through that gate on Monday. The danger is not simply being tired. The danger is what tired does to your awareness. Now, point 1, physical exhaustion equals impaired judgment. Pretty sure you agree with that. Physical exhaustion, and I ain't talking about just being sleepy, guys. There's an actual research on this. After 17 hours awake, that's a double shift for most of us. Your cognitive performance drops to the same level as somebody with a 0.05 blood alcohol content. That's legally impaired in most states. Don't you agree? After 24 hours, you're at a 0.10. You are functioning as drunk behind that gate. Your reaction time is shot. Your peripheral awareness shrinks. You stop scanning. You stop assessing. You just start surviving the shift. Now think about what that means in our environment. Inmates approach you at count time. Normally you're sharp. You notice the body language. You notice that you're a little too close. You also notice that their hands, they're keeping behind their hip. Exhausted you? You just want to make it through count so you can sit down for 5 freaking minutes. That's the blind spot. That's where officers start to get hurt. Think about it. I've seen it. Officer working his 4th double of the week. Walking a tier he's walked 1,000 times. Inmate steps out of the cell behind him, something he would have caught on a normal day, but this is not a normal day. He's running on fumes. He's empty. And that half-second delay, that's all it takes. That's all it takes for him to get hurt. Emotional exhaustion equals a bad decision. This is going to be point number 2. And this is the one that don't get talked about enough. Emotional exhaustion. Now, when you're worn down, you are short-tempered. You're irritable. Little things that would normally not get under your skin, they get under your skin. An inmate said something slick on a good day. You just let it roll off your shoulders. It's a normal inmate, right? Nothing personal. On hour 14 of a double, you might bite. And now you escalated a situation that didn't need to be escalated. Now you got to use some force on your hands. Now you got to write it. Now you're the one under review. But what don't make sense is we talk about de-escalation in the academy like it's just a technique. Now guys, it's not just a technique. It's a state of mind. And you cannot de-escalate when you're emotionally depleted. You cannot read a room when you're running on fumes. And you know inmates can pick up on this? I'm telling you right now, they know when you're tired. They know when you're frustrated. They know when you're just trying to get through that shift. And some of them, they're going to test that. Not because they're evil, because they're inmates. And in their world, that's an opportunity to exploit you. So the second danger here is not that you're tired. It's that you're being tired makes you a target. Now, while you're out there watching, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's grow it. Don't forget to share it to your co-workers, other officers, so they can get training like this to help them. We're here to save each other. You know, the compounding effect is number 3. And this one is the one that scares me the most. The compounding effect. It ain't just one bad shift. It's the accumulation. Monday you work a double. Tuesday you work a double. Wednesday you're supposed to be off, but somebody called out and now you're back on that floor. By Thursday, you're not the same officer who started the week. And here's where it gets dangerous, in a way where most people don't think about it. When you're that worn down, you start cutting corners. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care. It's because your brain is in survival mode and it's looking for shortcuts. You skip that pat down because you're fifth one today. You don't check behind that blind spot because you checked it an hour ago. You take the inmate's word for it. Something because running it down would take too much energy. And every single one of those corners you cut, that's the roll of dice, guys. You're rolling those dice. And on a normal shift, you don't cut those corners. That's not you. But you're not on a normal shift. You're on the seventh day straight. And your body is screaming. Your mind is fogged over. And the worst part, you don't even notice it. You don't even notice you're doing it. That's what exhaustion does. It don't just make you tired. It makes you think you're fine when you're not. I've told staff this for years. You know who the most dangerous officers are on the compound at this point? It's not your rookies. It's not your rookies. Rookies who don't know what they're doing, it's the veteran officers who's too tired to care. Think about it. Look around. I've told this to staff for years. For years. And it's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're bad officers. They're tired. They're worn down. You know, escalation is case study. Let me tell you about something that's happened at a facility I know. It's an officer, good officer, 5 years on the job, solid reputation. Mandatory overtime, 3 days straight. By day 3, he's running on maybe 9 hours of sleep total. He's doing a routine cell check. Inmate's got something behind the bunk, contraband. On a normal day, this officer would have called it. He's a good officer, I'm telling you. He's thorough. He's very sharp. But today, he's just trying to make it through the block so that he can sit down. He misses it. He walks right past it. 2 hours later, the contraband is in another hand of an inmate. And now you got an incident. Now you got injuries. Now you got an investigation. And you know what the investigation found. Officer failed to follow a procedure. Come on, guys. They said the officer was negligent. The officer was now facing discipline. They didn't write that down that they was understaffed. They didn't note that he'd been working a double. They didn't even mention that the facility was running on 60% staffing. They put it on him because at the end of the day, when something goes wrong behind those gates, it's your name on that report, isn't it? Not the administrators. It's not the state who didn't give you the raise or didn't think about giving you that raise. That's the reality. The system will take everything you've got, and when you make a mistake because you got nothing left, the system will still hold you accountable. So here's what I need you to take from this. You can't control the staffing levels. You can't control whether the state legislation decides if you need a pay raise or not. You can't control whether somebody calls out and you get mandated for another double. What you can control every single shift is recognizing when you're compromised, recognizing when you're exhausted and turned impaired, and having the discipline to slow down. Double check yourself, guys. Stay sharp, even when your body is telling you to coast. Because at the end of the day, nobody else is going to protect you. Your awareness, but you. The system won't do it. Your supervisor won't do it. The inmate sure ain't going to do it. Remember this. When routine replaces awareness, that's when you have a blind spot. Stay sharp, even when you're running on empty. I know it's hard. I'm there with you guys. Now, if this hits home for you, if you've been there, running on empty, trying to stay sharp, drop a comment below. Tell me how many doubles you worked this month. Let's see who's really in the trenches out there. Share it, guys. Share this with another officer who needs to hear this. And don't forget the most important part. Subscribe to the channel. so you get more content like this. And as always, thank you for watching. My name's Kerry Randall with Beyond the Badge, Inside the Bars.